Hello, and a very warm welcome to each one of you. And we are on chapter number 15, which talks about life values. And that's what your personal compass is. In this chapter, we have been exploring how values shape every decision we make and ultimately define the quality of our lives. We learned the difference between moving towards values like love, success, and growth that pull us forward, and moving away from values like rejection, failure, conflict that we unconsciously avoid. Okay, इसके बारे में moving away is something that is what we are going to read today. While moving away values protect us from pain, they often limit our growth and fulfillment. And the key is to become aware of these patterns and consciously choose values that empower us instead of those that keep us stuck in our lives. Yeah, this is what we have been reading. We have read and what we are going to read today. Let me very quickly start sharing the screen so that we can start reading as well. Okay. Today, what we are starting off with is the topic of, oops, what is it? Eh, yes. Lessons in pain. Just as there are emotions we desire to experience because they are pleasurable, that's why we are moving always towards them. We also have a list of emotions that we will do almost anything to move away from. Very early in my career, when I was just beginning to build my first company, I experienced tremendous frustration in being on the road and trying to run my business simultaneously. At one point, it appeared that a person representing me had not been completely honest. When you deal, as I have, with hundreds of thousands of people and literally thousands of business, mm, arrangements, the law of average says that a few will attempt to take advantage of you. Unfortunately, these are the ones that tend to stick out in our mind rather than the hundreds and even thousands of business relationships that have far surpassed our expectations. As a result of one such painful situation, I sought out a new CEO, a man who I thought could really run my company, armed with my new tools of being able to elicit someone's values. I asked each of the potential candidates what's most important to you in your life. Some of them said things like success or accomplishment or being the best. But one man used the magic word. He said honesty. I didn't just take him at his words, I checked him out with several people who had worked with. He had worked with. They confirmed that he was as honest as the day was long, and that, in fact, at times he had set aside his own needs if there was any question of integrity. I thought, this is the kind of man I want representing me. And he did a fine job. Soon, though, it became clear that he needed an additional associate in order to really run my rapidly expanding business, someone who had additional skills. My CEO recommended someone he thought could become his partner and they could jointly run my organization. This sounded great to me. I met this man whom I call Mr. Smith. Names have been changed to protect the not so innocent, and he did a fabulous presentation demonstrating for me how he could use all the skills he had developed throughout the years to take my company to the next level. He could free up my time and allow me to do even larger seminars and impact even more people without having to live on the road. At the time, I was spending almost 150 days a year away from home, conducting my seminars. In addition, he did not want to be paid until he would produce the results. It sounded almost too good to be true. I agreed to the arrangement. Mr. Smith and my honest CEO would run my company. A year and a half later, I woke up and discovered that it was too good to be true. Yes, my seminars has gotten bigger, but now I was on the road almost 270 days a year. My skills and impact had grown. I had helped more than even before, but suddenly I was informed that I was $758,000 in debt after I had given more than I ever had in my entire lifetime. How could this possibly be? Well, management is everything, both within companies and within ourselves. And I clearly did not have the right managers. But worse, Mr. Smith had over his 18-month period of time misappropriated more than $250,000 from our offers. He had a new house, a new car. I had assumed he had gotten them from his own business, other businesses. Boy, was I in for a surprise. To say that I was angry or devastated by this experience would certainly be using transformational vocabulary to lower the intensity of my feelings. The metaphors I used at the time were things like, I feel stabbed in the back, and he tried to murder my firstborn. He has that, he was that for, he is how's that for emotional intensity? However, the thing that perplexed me the most was how my honest CEO could stand by and not warn me that all this was happening. He was aware of what was going on. This was when I began to realize that people don't just pursue pleasure, but they clearly also move away from pain. My honest CEO had tried to tell me that he was concerned about his partner. He came to me after I had been on the road for 3 straight months. On my first day home, he approached me to tell me that he had questions about Mr. Smith's integrity. I immediately became concerned and asked him why. He said, when we moved to our new offices, he took the biggest office. This was so petty that I got extremely angry and said, listen, you brought him into the business, you deal with him yourself personally. And I stormed off. I should have realized that day that I had given this man pain when he was trying to give me information. In my exhausted and stressed state, I failed to evaluate the deeper meaning of what was going on. As if this weren't bad enough, my honest CEO approached me again to give me similar feedback. I told him that he was not being totally honest by talking to me instead of Mr. Smith. I marched into his associate's office and said, he's telling me all these things about you. You guys work this out. Can you imagine the pain he got from Mr. Smith? As I look back on the experience now, I can see clearly why he didn't tell me the truth. Telling me the truth that he had bought someone itomy business who had misappropriated more than $250,000 seemed to him in the short term to be much more painful than just putting it off and trying to find some other way to deal with it eventually. In fact, as I look back on all the upsets I have had with this CEO, invariably they all came down to times when he did not do things he needed to simply because he wanted to avoid the feeling of confrontation. This was the ultimate pain for him. So while honesty was important to him, avoiding confrontation was more important. Thus, he simply did not communicate to me and rationalized that he was being honest because, after all, I had never asked him if Mr. Smith was taking money. If I had, he would have told me. As angry as the situation made me, and as painful as it was financially and emotionally, it provided me with one of the most valuable lessons of my life because it gave me one of the final pieces in the puzzle of understanding human behavior. Understanding these twin forces of pain and pleasure has helped me not only to positively influence myself and my family, but people around the world with great precision. Wow, this is so powerful. Episode from Tony Robbins' life that he has shared. But at the same time, I would like for you to reflect कि आप क्या क्या चीजें hide कर लेते हो behind the curtains, under the carpets, just because you are avoiding some kind of a feeling as well. There is a pain in some kind of a feeling, जिसकी वजह से आप भी उसको brush under the carpet कर देते हो या avoid कर देते हो. So, for example, agar so my mom has a very beautiful habit of asking me on Sundays whether I went to the satsang or not. I hate it when she tells me, "Ha, tu to nahi gayi." So either I go or I avoid talking to her because the moment I'll call her, this is the first question she will ask. So on Sundays, I make sure that थोड़ी सी लेटी फोन पे बात. Get that? There are things that you do not want to feel. There are emotions that you do not want to feel. And because of that, you avoid so many things. You brush so many things under the carpet. You don't talk about them. You don't tell people about it because you don't want to feel small. As much as what you want to feel is important, it is equally important to understand a person through what is the emotion he does not want to feel. And confrontation is all my one of these things as well. I don't love, I don't like, I don't want to get into the confrontations. And such people become people pleasers. Let's move ahead, moving away from values. We must remember then that any time we make a decision about what to do, our brain first evaluates whether that action can possibly lead to either pleasure or painful states. Your brain is constantly juggling or weighing your alternatives to see what the impact may be based upon your value hierarchy. If, for example, I asked you to go skydiving and the number one emotion you try to avoid at all costs is a sense of fear, it's pretty obvious that you are not going to take action, are you? If, however, the number one value you want to avoid at all costs is feeling of rejection, and you believe that I may reject you if you don't go, you may decide to jump out of the plane in spite of your fear. The relative experience of pain we associate with certain emotions will affect all our decisions. I'll repeat that. The relative level of pain we associate with certain emotions will affect all our decisions. What are some of the emotions that are most important for you to avoid experiencing on a consistent basis? Often, when I ask people this question at seminars, they come up with a list such as the following. Number one, rejection, anger, frustration, loneliness, depression, failure, humiliation, guilt. Again, would it be fair to say that all these emotions are states you would like to avoid having to feel? Of course, because they are painful. Would it also be true to say, while you want to avoid feelings all of these emotions, some are more painful to you than others? That, in fact, you have a hierarchy of moving away from values as well. Which value on the above list would you do the most to avoid having to feel? Rejection, depression, humiliation, what? The answer to this question will determine your behavior in almost any environment. Just like we did moving towards values, we are talking about moving away values. इनमें से कौन सी वैल्यू ऐसी है जिससे आप मूव अवे करना चाहते हो? And which comes number one? So I would love for you to write these in a piece of paper, just like we did the other day. And what you need to do is, इसके आगे 1 to 10 भी डाल दो. How many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 are there. So 1 से 8 तक इनको कैटेगराइज करो, इनको क्या फिल्टर करो कि कौन सा नंबर 1 है, कौन सा नंबर 2 है, कौन सा नंबर 3 है. 1 being the first and 10 being the least. ठीक है. तो आप देखोगे कि आप अपनी लाइफ में जो भी डिसीजंस ले रहे हो, यू आर टेकिंग दोज डिसीजंस बिकॉज ऑफ दिस एज वेल. The answer to this question will determine your behavior in almost any environment. Take a moment before we go any further and write this list out in the above blanks, ranking them from the emotional states you will do the most to avoid having to feel, to those you will do the least to avoid having to feel. यही मैंने बोला ना कि आपको ये भी एक्टिविटी करनी है, just like we did it in the last session. I hope we can build a university our football team can be proud of. University of Oklahoma. As you look at your list, what does it tell you? If, for example, you put at the top of your list that the emotion you would do the most to avoid having to feel is humiliation, then you can see how you would consistently avoid entertaining any situation where you might be judged harshly. If loneliness is the emotion you want to avoid most, it may drive you to be a nurturing person, reaching out to others and trying to give to them on a regular basis so that they will want to be with you and so that you will be surrounded by many grateful friends. आप देखो कि आपको कौन सी वैल्यू सबसे ज्यादा और सबसे कम वाली है इसके अंदर. आप किसको सबसे ज्यादा अवॉइड करना चाहते हो और किसको कम कंपैरेटिवली अवॉइड करते हो. And you will understand your life patterns. You will understand why you do what you do. तब आपको समझ में आएगा कि अगर आपने कोई प्रोग्राम किसी मेंटर का खरीदा है, वो आपने क्यों खरीदा है, बिकॉज what is it taking you away from, what is it taking you towards. वैल्यूज उसके अंदर आएंगी and you will understand कि हाँ, this is how I make decisions, this is how I lead life, this is how I be in the environment I am. कि हो सकता है कि आपके घर में कोई certain kind of environment हो, उसके हिसाब से आप अपनी लाइफ लीड करते हो. You go to certain people's homes as per these values as well. All right. This is it. That's it. We are going to move forward to the source of self-sabotage value conflicts tomorrow. And yet, before closing this session, there is something that I want to share with you. That is, I want you to, reflect on these things, the 8 values that have been shared. Also, I want you to carry a thought along with you for today. That is, discipline your mind and the world will no longer control you. You will control how you experience the world. Okay? What is wrong with me today? हमारे 3-4 टेकअवेज हैं इस चैप्टर से. दैट इज कि जो पेन होती है, दैट ऑल्सो हेल्प्स इन शेपिंग आवर डेस्टिनी इफ यू डोंट कॉन्शियसली चूज टू शेप इट योरसेल्फ. ठीक है. पेन अवॉइडेंस वैल्यूज silently control my decisions without us realizing it. Moving away from values that keep us safe but also keep us stuck at times. Recognize these values in the first step to reclaiming your power back. Shifting from pain avoidance to growth oriented values creates freedom. And awareness of your pain patterns is equal to freedom to choose differently. ठीक है. थॉट ऑफ द डे जो मैंने बोला है वो है pain will shape your destiny if you don't consciously choose to shape it yourself. I'll repeat that. Pain will shape our destiny if we don't choose to shape it ourselves. I would love for you to categorize these. Once again, I'm repeating that. Categorize all the moving away जो फीलिंग्स हैं, वैल्यूज हैं, इनटू 1 to 8 एंड सी फॉर योरसेल्फ कि हाँ सच्ची में है कि नहीं है. Alright, that's it for today. God bless you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week ahead. We have an entire week ahead. I would love to see you more often. God bless you. Have a wonderfully beautiful day. Bye bye. God bless you. Mwah.